Hi, my name is Tim Russo, and I have a primary immunodeficiency disease. Primary immunodeficiency diseases, or PID, are a group of diseases that affect the body's immune system. My immune system is not able to fight off infections the way it's supposed to. One of the signs of PID is that you get sick a lot more often than other people do. Well, with me, the doctors found out that I have PID when I got very sick with pneumonia, and I just couldn't get any better. I had been sick a lot before the diagnosis of PID, and it was good to finally understand why. Once the doctor explained everything, my parents and I were glad to know that there are things that I can do in order to stay healthy. Well, you're probably wondering about the same things. What will you have to do differently now? And will your friends still hang out with you? I was pretty nervous at first, but then things turned out all right. I even made some new friends. But instead of me telling you, why don't I show you what it was like for me? Maybe it will help you out a little. You'll feel a lot better when you learn that the basic steps on how to stay healthy are really pretty simple. Let me take you on a little trip back through time, and back to the day when I learned a lot. Here we are in the morning that I'm going back to school after having been sick for a while. Before school, Mom and I are going to the clinic so that I can receive my second treatment with IGIV since my diagnosis with PID. My first infusion lasted about 3 hours, so my nurse has scheduled me for a very early appointment. This way, I will be able to join my friends in school for lunch and recess. Mom has made me a really good breakfast, well, because it's important for me to eat well. I remember I was really nervous about what my friends were going to think.
Timmy, do you have everything you need for school today?
Yeah, Mom.
Are you excited to be going back?
Yeah, I guess. I just don't know if I want to go back to school today. Well, I mean, what if my friends think I'm weird?
Everything's going to be all right. Remember what we talked about yesterday? I'm sure your friends will ask some questions, but that's no reason to be nervous. They are still your friends.
Yeah, I know, but still. And I have so much stuff to remember. Like, what if I forget something?
Well, maybe you can talk to Karen, your nurse at the infusion center. I bet she knows lots of kids who come for treatment who have questions.
Hi, Mrs. Russo. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And how about you, Tim?
I'm okay.
What's the matter, Tim?
I guess I'm a little nervous.
Nervous? Not about the infusion, I hope.
Oh.
You did so well last time.
No, that's fine.
He's going back to school today.
Oh, and you're not excited to be going back?
Somewhat. I'm just afraid that I forgot everything I'm supposed to do now.
Well, I can understand that. Come on, let's have a seat. Now, where would you like me to put your IV today? You pick the spot, Tim. Remember what I told you last time? If I put it in your hand, well, then you're gonna have some trouble doing your homework. But if I put it in your forearm, you'll be able to do your homework, and we'll be able to play a card game during the infusion.
I think my arm will be fine. Well, besides, Mom already placed the magic numbing cream on this one.
What great teamwork. Now, how did she know I wanted to use that arm? And how'd she know about the magic cream?
We were given the prescription for the magic numbing cream when Tim was discharged from the hospital. The discharge nurse showed me where and how to apply it, about an hour before Tim is scheduled for the infusion.
That's great. This way it'll be so much easier. And Tim, you don't have to be nervous about the needle. You know, in the future, we probably won't even have to use any magic cream. You'll be used to the procedure, and the needle that we use is really tiny. But for now, we'll stick with the magic cream. Now, remember last time? I'm putting an extra wide rubber band called a tourniquet above the area where I'm going to place the IV. This makes it much easier to find your vein. Here, take a look. The blue line is your vein. See how your vein's getting larger?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? Okay, here we go. There you go. we go. Everything okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you remember our conversation from a couple of weeks ago? That you can do lots of different things while you're waiting for the infusion to finish?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to rent a video, but we didn't have enough time to stop at the place before we came here. I'm gonna bring one next time. For today, I brought the newest Goosebumps book. Mom picked it up for me yesterday. Look at the cool cover.
Cool. Good planning. But, before you start reading, let's just review a couple things from our conversation last time.
Okay.
About taking care of yourself. Now, an important thing is to keep good hygiene. Do you remember what that means?
I have to wash my hands a lot?
Well, that's part of it. Do you remember when it is most important?
Before I eat, right?
Yes, and when you come home from outside and just after you use the men's room. Another thing that's important, don't share food or drinks with your friends. Also, if you cut or scrape yourself, make sure to keep the cut as clean as possible. Okay, what else? Of course, you will also need to let your teachers know if you don't feel well.
Oh, yeah, our principal and teachers have told us that before. Well, all the students are supposed to tell the teacher if they don't feel well.
Good. That's smart of them. So how's your homework, Tim? Did you manage to catch up while you were at home?
Yeah, Mom made sure that my friend Vince brought over all the assignments once I felt better. I didn't get a break at all.
Come on, Tim, you know better. It's going to be important for you to keep up with your homework and other assignments, but you knew that.
Yeah.
And, hey, speaking about assignments, I have one more for you, but this one will be fun.
Oh?
This is your personal health diary. Do you remember that the nurses at the hospital told you about this?
What am I supposed to do with it?
I want you to keep it by your bed, and if you don't feel well during the day, I want you to record it. It doesn't have to be a long statement or even a full sentence. You can write just a couple of words like getting a cold, or if you had a headache, just write headache.
But why do you want me to do that?
Well, it'll be important for your doctor to look at in case you get sick. This way we could check your diary to see how long you haven't felt well. Some diseases really start a couple days earlier than we notice by us getting headaches or just feeling very tired. And at the time, we don't realize that we're getting something more serious, so when we do get sick, our first day in bed is really not the first day of the disease, but more like the third or fourth. And because you have PID, it will be important for the doctor to get all the clues as quickly as possible. Kind of like a mystery story where the detective finds all the clues right away. So can you do that?
Yeah, no problem.
Good. You also need to start keeping track of your infusions. And the best way to do that is by starting an infusion log. Your mom or your dad will help you with that. It's similar to the health diary, but instead of writing in it every day, you only write on the days that you come here. You want to just save the end of your diary for your infusion log, where you keep a table with the dates, the amount of the IVIG and its expiration date, and the lot numbers of each infusion. Oh, and one last thing. It may be a good idea for you to stay away from other kids who seem to be sick. You also might want to try and avoid crowded places like the mall and the movies during flu season, or, if you can, just go during the quieter hours. Okay, I think that covers everything. We spoke about good hygiene, that it's important for you to talk with your teachers and your school nurse. I gave you your first copy of your health diary, and we talked about the infusion log. Now, do you have any questions?
Oh, what about my friends? Are they gonna still play with me, or will they think that I'm weird? And what about when I go to a new school? Like, will people there think I'm weird because I get sick more often?
What do you think? When your friends get sick, do you think that they are weird?
No.
Besides, if they are really good friends, are they going to treat you differently?
Well, not if they're really good friends, but...
And Tim, with the IVIG, you probably are not going to get sick as often anymore as you used to. So don't worry about meeting new people and what they might think. I have a feeling it'll all work out.
Hi, Nurse Karen. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. What are you doing here?
I'm here to get immunoglobulin. Why are you here?
The same. I didn't know you had PID.
Yes, I was born with it.
That's wild. I mean, I would never have guessed. You do so many things, and you have so many friends.
Of course you can't tell from looking at a person that they have PID. People with PID just look like everyone else. I just have to take really good care of myself.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even think. I mean, I just found out that I have PID, and, well, today's the first day that I'm going back to school.
You're pretty nervous, huh?
Yeah, I mean, There's so much stuff that I have to remember and so many things that I have to watch out for. Well, how do you do it?
It's pretty easy once you learn certain steps. Why don't we meet during study hour in the school library, and I'll tell you all about it.
Okay, sure, that sounds cool. See you there.
So, Tim, how'd the doctors find out that you have PID?
Oh, well, I kept getting sick a lot when I was younger, and I kept getting bronchitis too. Once I got a really, really bad case of pneumonia, and I just wasn't getting any better. So finally the doctors found out. Mom and Dad were pretty scared. They told me after. I was too sick to remember anything. How about you?
I've always had it. Fortunately, with me, they found out pretty early. I was in the hospital a lot when I was a baby.
Wait, I don't get it. How come you were born with PID, but I just got it? How can that be?
Hey, Sarah, who's your buddy?
Oh, hi, Dr. Van Finitzer. This is my new friend, Tim. He doesn't know you guys yet, so be good.
Tim, nice to meet you. Sarah, you don't have to worry about me. I'm always nice.
Whoa, who are you? Where did you come from?
I'm Dr. Van Finitzer, an old friend of Sarah's. She said that the other guys and I should be your buddy, too. We've been her friends since she was a little baby. We're part of her health team.
I don't understand. How come you are talking to me here in the middle of this library? What are the other kids going to think?
Relax, Tim. You and Sarah are the only ones who can see or hear me and my team. I guess you could say we're imaginary. Pretty cool, huh? I'm here now because you have PID and need to know some pretty important stuff. I am the leader of the immune gang, and it's our job to teach you. You'll meet the other guys in a minute, but I want to get to know you first. Now, how do you feel?
Fine, I guess. I mean, I thought I was the only one here with PID, and I was pretty nervous. So, it's cool to be able to talk with somebody.
Yeah, it's great to have support. It's really natural to be scared at first. After all, being diagnosed with a chronic disease is pretty major. But the important thing for you to remember is you are still the same person you were before you got sick. You just need to do the things you talked about with your parents and the doctors. And ask lots of questions, 'cause it's important that you understand what's happening.
Yeah, I was just asking Sarah. How come we both have PID if she was born with it and I got it much later?
Good question, Tim. In order to understand that, let me tell you a bit about the immune system and how it protects your body. But for that, I'll need the help of my crew. Let me introduce the rest of the team to you. Tim, meet Dr. Xanthos, Wilson, and Nurse Angela Catheter. But we call her Angie K.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Hi there.
Dr. Xanthos really knows about the immune system, so he'll tell you all about it.
Okay. Tim, before we get going with this, let's make sure you know what we're talking about here. Of course, you know that PID stands for Primary Immunodeficiency. But did you know that PID is not just one disease? It's more than 100 different diseases that affect the cells, tissues, and proteins of a person's immune system. Now, I'll bet you're wondering just what the immune system is. I mean, after all, you must have heard that term a gazillion times by now. One way to explain it is to think of the immune system as an army inside your body that defends your body against invaders.
What kind of invaders?
Germs and stuff. Anything that can cause you to get sick.
The way your immune system works is just like a real army, with differently trained soldiers, and each soldier has his own special job. Let me introduce you to a few of my friends to make this easier. Tim, meet the troops of your army. These are the T cells. T cells are very important. You could call them the leaders of your army. Some T cells attack and kill the germs once they've gotten inside your body. Others alert the other parts of your immune system to start the defense. And once everything is okay again, and the germs are all beaten, T cells tell everybody to calm down again because the battle is won. Another important part of your army is made up of B cells. B cells produce antibodies that also work like soldiers attacking the germs. But they need to be alerted by the T cells first. How about a demonstration, B cells? Guys? And then there are the phagocytes and the complement system. Now, you're probably wondering how all these guys work together. Well, how about it, guys? Let's show Tim how we go into action. Here, we have a bunch of nasty-looking germs that dared to try an invasion. Let's see what happens. Okay, the killer T's go into action and start the defense. Looks like they're doing their best, but they could use some help. Good thing we have the helper T's to alert the B cells that it's time to wake up and produce antibodies. And look at those antibodies go. Here we have the IgGs helping the killer T's. And look there. They're helping the phagocytes to find the germs. And over there is our complement system kicking into action. Look at that shot. Great job, guys. Tim, as you can see, each of these guys has a slightly different role. But the important thing for you to know is that they all work together as a team to kill the germs that would make you sick. Now, when somebody has PID, some parts of the army are either not working or are not there at all. You see, Tim, in your case, you don't have enough antibodies, so parts of your army are just not big enough. On the other hand, some people have enough IgG, but their phagocytes don't work properly. You each have a different cause for the disease, but the result is very similar. Your body has a hard time getting rid of germs. And that's where your treatment comes in. Gamma globulin from your infusion therapy replaces the IgG that is missing and helps your army win the battles. Tim, as you can see, sometimes your army has to fight pretty hard. It's important that you help it by keeping the amount of germs that you get in contact with as low as possible. Do you know how to do that?
By being careful to keep things clean, right?
That's right. Another thing to keep in mind is that when people cough or sneeze, they spread a lot of germs. It might not always be possible, but you may want to stay away from that.
Well, does it work the other way around? Can somebody get PID if I sneeze?
That's something some of your friends might be wondering about, and they might even ask you about it. No, they can't. And that is something very important to know.
Nobody can get PID from hanging out with a person with PID. It is not contagious and not caused by germs which can be spread from person to person. PID is something you are born with, even if you only find out about it later on.
But Tim, besides practicing good hygiene, there are other things you can do to stay well. Do you know what they are?
Well, Mom has always made sure I ate breakfast before school. But since I got sick, she's especially careful about it.
Your mom is right, Tim. Eating well is also an important part of staying healthy. You need to eat well in order to grow and develop anyway. But now that you're diagnosed with PID, it's especially important. A healthy diet provides your body with the building blocks it needs in order to grow and to repair injuries. Have you heard about the food pyramid?
My mom talked about it.
Well, the food pyramid is made up of 6 different food groups and helps us to balance our diet. The 6 basic food groups are the grain group, the vegetable group, the fruit group, the milk group, the meat group, and the group with sweets and fats. You're supposed to eat something from each food group every day, but don't eat too many sweets. Here, let me show you what belongs in each group. See, Tim? You can really eat anything you want.
Even ice cream or pudding?
Yes, but remember, If you want to stay healthy, you have to eat something from each group every day. As a matter of fact, it's best if you eat most of your foods from the bottom levels of the pyramid. And the wider the level of the pyramid, the more servings you're supposed to eat. So, 6 servings from the grain group, but then only 5 servings from the fruit and vegetable group, and 2 servings each from the milk and meat groups. Got that?
Do I still have to eat broccoli?
Well, you can skip the broccoli, but only if you eat spinach instead. Any questions, Tim?
No, I got it. Good food is important.
Now, a couple of more things. Taking care of yourself doesn't only include good hygiene and healthy food. It also includes getting plenty of rest, even when you feel well, and regular exercise to strengthen your lung capacity. What sports do you like, Tim?
Baseball and biking. Well, but Mom was worried about letting me play because she's afraid I might get hurt and get sick again.
Well, that's understandable. You always want to be careful to not get hurt, and you should do your best to avoid that. Use protective gear when you ride your bike, like long socks and knee and elbow pads in case you skid, and always wear your helmet. And just remember, if you do cut yourself, make sure to wash the cut right away. And if it happens at school, see the school nurse right away. It's important for you to always pay proper attention to any cuts or injuries. You might also want to think about taking up swimming, because that's a sport where you get lots of exercise so you feel good, and you can't really hurt yourself.
Just make sure you swim in a pool and not a lake, so that there is chlorine added to the water to kill the germs. Well, Tim, it seems to me like you have learned a lot during this lunch. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I did. Well, as long as I keep things clean, eat well, and even do my sports again, I should be pretty cool. Oh, but wait. What about my other friends? I mean, Sarah knows all the rules I have to follow, and she understands why. But, I mean, what if my friends make fun of me for being careful?
You know, Tim, if they're really good friends, then they will want to learn something about your disease. Once they understand a bit more, they'll respect your self-control. Just like you learned today from Sarah, they too will learn that living with PID isn't really all that different. Hey, glad to meet you, Tim. Remember to keep your infusion diary, and don't forget, the doctors and nurses are there to keep you healthy. And if you have any questions, just ask them or your parents. We're all here to help you.
Cool, thanks.
Bye, Tim. Bye, Sarah. It was good to see you again. Okay, team, let's go. We have work to do.
So long, Tim and Sarah.
So long, Tim.
Bye-bye, Tim. Bye-bye, Sarah.
Bye.
Bye.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Sarah. You really helped me out.
You're welcome. You like those guys?
Yeah, I really understand PID a lot more.
You want to hang out after school? My friend Susie just got a cold. Besides, this way we can talk some more.
Sure, it sounds great. See you after school.
Okay.
Hi, Mom. We're back.
Hey, that was fast. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Mrs. Russo.
Glad to see you guys agreed on a movie so quickly.
Can we watch the video?
Sure, go ahead. Would you like some juice?
Yeah, please.
Okay, yeah.
But Tim, you haven't told me anything about how your day went. You were in such a hurry to get out the door to go get the video. So, how did it go? Was it scary?
Oh, no, it was cool. Sarah really helped me out a lot, and I learned a lot, too.
Really? What did you learn?
Well, let's see. Well, I'm supposed to eat right, and, keep everything clean. And I can still play sports. I'm no different than I was without PID. My friends don't even think I'm strange. I even made a new friend.
Super. It sounds like you really had a good day. I have some good news for you, too. While you were at school, I had a long conversation with your nurse, Karen, and she pointed out that pretty soon you might be able to have infusions at home instead of having to go to the clinic. But tell me more about your great day. What else did you learn?
Well, I have to tell my teacher and my nurse if I don't feel well. And I have to keep an infusion log. And in case I get really sick, I have a health diary. Did I show you, Mom? Look at the cool cover.